This message is brought to you by Not a Jeep. Welcome back, everybody. So this is going to be a video for compartments on the side, and I went looking on Amazon and eBay, and you know what? They're just too much damn money. Like, they had one of them for $130. That's before tax. And I'm sure it's good. It fits it all nice and neat and everything, but man, I think I can make one. And so let me show you what I got over here. Walking over here to my my new toolbox I got. Look, we got to get something going on in this country where metal's cheap again, man. Because this was one piece. It was 2 feet wide and I think a yard long. $48 and some change at the Hobo Depot. Man, that's no good. And it's 1/8 thick. I mean, come on, man. 26 gauge. But this is some 26 gauge here, and I cut it in half. So now we got 1 foot strips. So now you know it was one piece and now it's two. Let me get this one out the way. And we're working with this one piece right here. Now this is just a piece of scrap metal I got. And there's a piece of wood here and it's clamped down. And I got exactly 3 inches here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to box this up like 3-sided. Okay, it's not going to be a whole box all the way around. It's just going to be a box that looks like that. It's going to go clink. And I got some other hardware. I know, you shouldn't drill holes into your truck. But, man, I'm going to. And it's not too bad. It's in the cargo area. Anchor points and stuff going on back there. It kind of blends in, so I don't feel too bad about it. So, this is how I'm getting my angles down. Like I said, I got them clamped. I'm going to come here with something and try to bend it nice and smooth and not get no creases out of it. And so, let's get bending on this, and I'm going to start fabbing this thing up. And when we're all done, first of all, if you go to buy one of these, make sure you have like a towel or something in the back of your truck, because they grease these things on purpose, man, so they don't rust. They're greasy, so you got to get soap and water if you're going to paint these. And clean them up real good, get all that oil and shit off of there. And once we do that, spend some good money here, and I got some Herculiner. If you want to paint something black and make it rough and tough and it don't chip off, use bed liner. Shit works. If you just use a plain old rattle can, it's gonna suck. You know, you're gonna waste your money. So let's get to fabbing this thing up. Alright, now that probably took about an hour. And you can see I got this funky looking, whatchamacallit. Yeah. So like I said, it's 3-sided pretty much. 1, 2, and you got 3 over here. Let's go see how it fits. That's it right there. I'm holding it in right now. I got to bolt it up. Now remember, this thing's going to be black. It's going to blend in. But man, it really, you know, you just had to bend the angle, or bend the end at an angle, top as well. It bolts in from the inside. You can't see it, but man, I'm gonna light this up tomorrow, and you're gonna see the difference. Well, we are done. I got the box installed and it worked out really, really good, man. I really like it. It's pretty solid. Let me get up in here and show you what I did. So you've seen it there up on the toolbox, all painted. This is obviously the next day I got it installed. And I'm waiting on one more thing that's coming in tomorrow. I got like a door edge trim that goes on a car door. I'm going to put it on this edge because it could cut your wrist or something reaching down in there. But man, it's pretty cool. It's like 2 feet by 1 foot. I found these in my shop and I used them because I got a square tube back in there, because this is 1/8 inch There's a little bit of wobble up there. I'm not worried about the top. I was more worried about the bottom. And it's really sturdy now. So I got that, it's like a 1/2 inch square tubing on the inside. And these just go through and hold it steady. And then I got one anchor here and one there going through the plastic. And when I say anchor, I mean something like this. Now looking on the inside here, that's what it looks like. And those anchors I got, I think I got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 on this side. And then I got 5 right over there. And it's pretty sturdy. I mean, you can load up a lot of stuff in there. So, one thing I do want to tell you, if you're going to use these in a situation like this and leave the plastic, if you're going to leave the plastic on, you're going to have to set these anchors up through the holes here and get them like that and stick it in and hold that one while you stick in the rest, and then pop them all in at the same time, because obviously you're not reaching around the back to put this wing nut, spring nut or whatever it is, to the back, so you got to pop them all in at the same time. That was a little bit hard, but I got it done. And the ones here in the bottom that go down, so I got one right here and one right there, just 2. That was easy because you can open this access door and hold them down right there. You can always pull this plastic off and bolt it on. I didn't want to do that, so. But yeah, man, that's it. Let me show you all the stuff that I'm going to put in here. So these are all the items that I'm going to attempt to put in that 2 foot by 1 foot space. I have a bag full of bungee cords and those little ratchet straps for carrying stuff up on the roof rack. I got a bigger strap. It could be used for pulling, but it's primarily used for carrying something really big on the roof. And I've used it once and it comes in handy. I got a spare serpentine belt. Always have one of those in my truck. Jumper cables, leather gloves, and my trusty air pump. And first aid kit. Alright, I got all of it in there except for 2 items. That was the serpentine and the gloves. I figured just keep them over here. They're a little bit easier to access with the jack and all that stuff. But yeah, all of it's in there. It's pretty much, this wasn't so wide. It's flush, you know. So, pretty good. I'm happy with it. Man, worked out really good. This ran me $40. So on the other side, if you have one of these trucks, you'll know there's a door here. You can open that up and you can almost fit one of those small lunchbox toolboxes in there, but it's just about 1 inch too short height wise. So I took everything out of the toolbox that I had, and I put out like my tire repair kit, like, you know, common stuff you need to have in your vehicle. Some common tools like a couple hand wrenches, a screwdriver, needle nose pliers, stuff like that. And I got my tire iron cinched down real good with the bungee cord. And yeah, so it used to have a big tote right here taking up half the space with all the stuff in it. Now it's all open. Loving it, man. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier or sooner. I had it like that for like 5 years. I always wanted to make a box. I always wanted to buy one, but they were too expensive. So yeah, works out pretty good. Just got to get that door trim on there, and man, she's ready to go. Awesome. So that's pretty much it with that. Now this one I've had for a long time, ever since I got the vehicle. I got this at a Goodwill, where there's an Air Force base, and I just took it off and strapped it up, and I keep stuff like bottle openers, fuses, USB cables, spare batteries, knives, little knickknacks here and there, and it's easy to get to. toothbrush, nail clippers, like stuff that you use when you're camping. You just keep it in the truck so you don't forget it. And what I did recently on the back door here, I was going to make a separate video, but there's a couple out there that are pretty good, so I didn't really feel like I needed to do another one. But I did install a button, so when you're inside and you want to unlock the door or lock the door, or if you want to open the window, just hold it and the window pops open. And I had a spare camera too, so I went ahead and installed a spare camera. And that cable runs down through there to right there where I got a USB plug that I wired in. That's really just wired into the light here, so there's not much power going to it. It's good for like charging a phone or running a camera. That's about it. But yeah, that's pretty much my back gate here. And if you guys have any questions about this, it's pretty easy to install. There's a red, green, and black wire that goes to the back of the keyhole right here. The green, the black is ground, and you just use one of these sides for green and one side for red, and it'll automatically unlock the window too. So, and one little thing about this back door, if you're inside and somebody used a key fob and locked it, or they pressed the button in the inside and locked it, and say you're trying to come out, there's a switch that I installed in here that goes to the metal rod, and if you try to open the door, you won't be able to get out because you have to unlock it first. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass if you don't know, but once you get all this set up, then you're like, okay, now it's all right here. So it's like Toyota was going to put a button there, but they never did. So I went ahead, and you can see that metal rod right there. And I got some really good wire clamps, not zip ties, and some like rubber clamps with a bolt on it, and bolted it to the rod. When you push that, it pushes the rod. It makes it real easy to get out the back. See, if you're camping, or you know, you can think worst case scenario. You know, well, what if the car slides off a snowy bank and goes head first into a ditch and you can't open the doors? You know, you need to get out. You can get out this way. You know, so it's good for emergencies or if you're camping. But yep, that's about it for the video. Y'all like and subscribe. See you on the next one.